I don't know how I got the red. I needed that. Welcome to TV Trash, and I'm sorry, but I just sat through the most mind-numbing, brain-cell-killing piece of garbage I've ever seen in my life. And if you're gonna dare get through this review, take my advice. Pause this video, go get takeout from Long John Silver's, and come back here when you've got enough brain food to get through this. You back? Okay. Prepare for brain pain. This is Shasta McNasty. There's pandering to the lowest common denominator, and then there's this. Everything about this show, right down to the title, is enough to make you wonder how in the world UPN even lasted into the turn of the century. Premiering in 1999, Shasta McNasty drew abysmal reviews from the start, like Media Life's Andrew Wallenstein saying it was so bad he wondered if the creator wanted it to go down in flames, and Entertainment Weekly calling it a reason 1999 was the worst year for sitcoms ever. But the comment that really drew my attention came from Dilbert creator Scott Adams, who said the only people who would enjoy this show are those who would likely die in a bowling ball cleaning accident. Given that this show aired in the same hour as the Dilbert animated series, I'd say Adams had just cause for such a critique. I know what you're thinking. Could it possibly be that bad? Worse. Let's get this over with.
Yo, hurry up, guys. You're gonna miss it.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Good morning, Venice Boardwalk.
That's what I'm talking about.
Que pasa?
Oh! Hey!
How many times do I have to tell you boys, voyeurism is wrong?
But this isn't voyeurism. We're just watching it get naked.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing that no matter how much I think TV producers have hit rock bottom with how to open a pilot, they somehow find a backhoe that allows them to dig deeper! Yes, this is how our series opens, with our three main characters being peeping toms on a girl next door, and when they find out she's being cheated on, they decide they need to tell her so she'll come crying to them for rebound sex. And this plan involves breaking into her apartment to plant a pair of panties in there. And the one who actually does it gets attacked by a guard parent. Get me PETA! Oh wait, I can't do that because of these stupid caption bubbles protecting them from any legal recourse. I actually give the show credit for putting in those bubbles, figuring that the only people who would be watching this are pretty much dumber than a sand gnat. I guess I need to introduce these characters. Oh wait, I don't, because they do it for me!
That's a tracking anklet Rand's got on his leg. He was framed for a string of car thefts in Chicago.
Wait a minute. This
ain't my car.
He was supposed to give the tracker up when his probation ended, but he found there was an excellent way to attract fly honeys. What can I say about Dennis? He's just not a people person.
Hey, yeah, is this Feed the Children? Yeah, I got some leftover pizza for you. What do you mean you don't want it? It's pepperoni. Kids love pepperoni.
So you're probably wondering how three guys like us got together in the first place. We've been buddies since the first grade. Check it out. Cute little tykes, aren't we? That's when they let Dennis back into the public school system.
So the three are actually Chicago transplants living in Los Angeles to form their own band that got a record label before the record company was shut down by the IRS. Not that you know they have a band, since they almost never practice any music in the entire series. And I'm guessing that unlike Bill and Ted, they don't get better. Mostly the show is about their attempts to get women while showing off what complete assholes they are.
I got it. Look at that guy. He's getting all the chicks. Roll over, dinner.
I know you're faking it. That paw ain't broken.
Go get it, dinner. Go get it. Go, boy. Go get it.
This is her. You ready, boy? Now you know what to do.
Come on.
The dog's chew toy is a Dilbert doll. And to think Scott Adams had a beef with this show. And yes, there's no doubt that Dennis, played by Jake Busey, is the absolute worst of the bunch. And if you thought that actor's name was familiar, I'll get to that in a moment.
That's my chair.
Oh, yeah, you said for me to move it in.
I meant into my apartment.
Let me have a second. I've never had a recliner before.
It's not a... Whoa!
You are the biggest waste of space in the entire galaxy. Not that Randy's any better, since he keeps coming up with schemes like stealing their next-door neighbor's satellite TV so they can watch the Notre Dame games. Notre Dame football is aired on NBC's free broadcast, which means anyone can watch it. It's not blacked out. So not only is this scheme completely illegal and immoral, it makes no damn sense. Scott is, I think, supposed to be the most likable of this bunch, but even he's annoying because he won't stop talking to the camera.
I guess I learned something this week. I learned that spying is wrong.
You're missing this.
And I learned that sticking your nose in other people's business can only lead to heartache. So we're pretty excited today, if you couldn't tell. Been waiting all week for the Notre Dame game. I'm from Chicago, and there's two things you don't miss, and that's a Notre Dame game and the Chicago Bulls. Before they started to suck.
I will rebuild that fourth wall myself brick by brick if you don't shut up! And among the things these guys love to do is avoid paying their rent and trying to get free pizza by hampering the delivery boy's ability to get there on time.
Lucky I got here in under 30 minutes. Apparently someone took the numbers off the building.
I would have gotten here earlier, but apparently the cops got an anonymous tip that I had a pound of Colombian stashed in my ass.
Can you break a 20?
No, I can't.
Well then keep the change.
Those guys are damn lucky. If you tried that crap with my delivery guy, he fights back with landmines.
You know, you look familiar.
Of course I look familiar. I'm the Big Show. And you can catch me Thursday nights on WWF UPN SmackDown.
Okay, I know that SmackDown debuted on UPN at about the same time, and that's a shameless plug. But still...
If you have to explain a joke, there is no joke!
Hey man, what are you doing?
Check it out. Look at this.
I want these characters to die from drowning in radioactive sewage. And if you think it gets any better, the second episode was all about jokes against little people, guest starring Vern Troyer. And to answer two questions, no, not even he's likable, and yes, he'll be a recurring character.
You want some milk with that?
Really says something, Vern, when you had more dignity playing Napoleon in Jack of all trades. And And in addition to Troyer and fellow recurring guest star Cindy Margolis, this show somehow landed guest appearances from Ben Stein, Gary Coleman, and Gary Busey. Yes, you guessed right, Jake Busey's father. You just gotta wonder how many looks of shame Jake got at the Thanksgiving dinner table that year. Ugh, there is truly nothing redeeming I can find about this show. Here are some more episode stories, like Dennis has people pay to look at the rash on his back to raise rent money.
There's a message on here from the Rusty Dugan show.
Oh, man, I love Rusty Dugan.
They want you to come on the show, man. They saw your ass in The Inquisitor. I hear they pay big.
Ah, you see, I told you it'd work.
Of course it did. Your plans always work.
Really? No.
Dennis tries to keep his new girlfriend fat because he fears she'll dump him if she gets thin.
Have you been trying to keep me fat?
Mission accomplished.
Oh my God, you lied to me. You don't want me for me. You just want me for my body.
If you're wondering why I'm not bringing out the barf bucket, I had to use it so many times watching this the first time, it's now a biohazard. By the show's midway point, there was an episode where the group had to change the band's name to just Shasta due to copyright issues or some bull crap. In truth, this was an excuse to change the show's name in a desperate attempt to renew interest. Some have actually marked that as the show's jump the shark moment. That would imply this show was good to begin with. Fonzie and the shark are insulted. And no, in case you didn't figure it out, that little trick didn't work, and this show was dead after 22 episodes. The finale was a parody of the Behind the Music series, detailing how the Shasta band became a huge success by 2002 in a special that supposedly is going to air in the future of 2010. Oh yeah, because in 2010, Shasta McNasty was classic music. I remember it blaring over the loudspeakers at the basketball games all the time.
I would get kind of angry when people would request Ain't Nothing But the Shasta McNasty, but then I thought to myself, how could I blame them? This music was a big part of our 0 years. Ain't nothing but the Shasta
McNasty coming at ya. Ooh, that was a good one.
I feel more unclean than the janitor of a leper colony. This show was putrid! The characters have no redeeming qualities, the writing is beyond sophomoric, and the stories are like the equivalent of a Pauly Shore movie marathon! This might be the worst show UPN ever aired, and that might be the boldest statement I've ever made on this show! I'm gonna go shower for the next 3 days, and hopefully I'll feel good enough next week to do our 3rd anniversary special. See you next time on TV Trash. Unclean!